So he has a winery?
Yes, a couple wineries. And you know what's funny? I don't know.
Like in the Yakima Valley?
I know they're in Washington. I don't know.
One would assume because that's the area that they get the wine grapes from.
Yeah.
Is the Yakima Valley.
I'm not as familiar with the Washington geography, but the best part is that the master grape winery guy, I'm not a wine person, but the guy who designs and creates all the best wines, his name is Josh McDaniels.
This is not it's not a, what do you call it? Sommelier.
Right.
He might have a sommelier on there.
He probably
But
does.
that's more for
yes.
like restaurants and like in another life, I probably would be a som at one of the freaking casinos here.
Yeah, that's like
if I had really dove into the hospitality thing that I was going down that path, but
yeah,
music, call my name.
Sound and recording.
Yeah, for all your sound and recording needs, feel free to come on down to Green Apple Studios. We're here in the downtown area across from the courthouse and greenapplestudiosvegas.com. Come podcast with us.
Yeah.
Welcome to Fast Talk Podcast, Christmas episode. My sweet tree is behind us.
Happy
days
holidays.
before Christmas. Happy holidays, everybody. We know you have a lot of choices when it comes to your sports content, and we appreciate you giving us a shot. And if you like what we have to say, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, all the Facebooks, all the Instagrams, all the TikToking. We appreciate your input, and more comments we get, the more we can tailor the content to what our followers like to see.
Yeah, even if you hate us, tell us. We want to know.
Somebody wrote rage bait on one of the things.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what we're doing. Kansas City Chiefs fans.
Speaking of
the
Kansas
Ohio
City,
State fans.
Yeah. So the top Pro Bowl vote getter this year is Travis Kelce.
Oh, I wonder why. You think it's a bunch of like little?
So that's exactly what it is.
Little girls voting for Travis Kelce.
Taylor's
I don't want to say little
boyfriend.
girls.
So he beat the second place person by like 200,000 votes. Wow. But the total votes for him was only $420,000. $20,000. 420,000 votes. So it's not like anybody's really going and voting.
Yeah, I didn't even know you could vote for the Pro
vote
Bowl.
getter is only 420,000. That means no one's voting. No one cares about the Pro Bowl anymore. And
That's true.
Maybe, Roger, we should just get rid of it. I know it's a controversial. We'll probably talk about that on a later podcast when we're closer to the Super Bowl, Pro Bowl time. His current stats are 803 yards and 5 touchdowns. So you tell me if that's worthy of a top vote getter when my guy Trey has 10 touchdowns and like 1,300 yards.
Yeah, no, it's not worthy of a top vote getter.
If you would have asked me, I wouldn't have said he has 5 touchdowns this year. But surprisingly, and I kept looking up his stats, he had 5 touchdowns this year. He only had 3 last year, and he had 5 the year before it.
That's it.
Yeah, so it's been since 2022 that he's had 1,000 yards and over double-digit touchdowns.
I knew last year was an off year, I guess, by his own standards. But also, once he found himself a girlfriend, he's been a different player. Has not been the same. I think he's, traveling all over the world, visiting the Eras Tour. I think this is Travis Kelce's Taylor era, if you will.
It's fine with me.
And yeah, absolutely.
He's
as
still
a fan of another
amazing
team.
at getting open.
And that's what I don't understand is how there are not 2 or 3 bodies on him every single play.
Because you run a zone, you can't. I feel like if you're trying to do a defensive scheme, it's not like you can run man for one guy and then zone for the rest. So if you're running man to cover Kelce, you have to run man across the board. I mean, there's schemes that are half man, zone blitzes, and all that, but it's like if you are playing zone defense, usually with him, one of your inside backers is probably going to be the one that has to cover, or your safety's coming up. If your safety comes up to cover him, he's leaving a big hole on the back end. So I just feel like there's not a defense that's tailored to funny. I didn't even try to do that to trying to stop him. And it's just like, I mean, he had a lot of drops this year. And I feel like, so I don't think it merits the number 1 vote getter.
Not even close.
But I mean, you can see why he's getting those votes. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
I wish I were faster because I would have come up with the name of a Taylor Swift song to throw out there, but sorry, not fast enough.
I think I can list like 6 songs. So I know I've heard a whole bunch of them. I just don't know the titles. Like I know Bad Blood. I knew You Were Trouble. I think Red is the name of an album, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me on that,
yeah, also a
Swifties.
song, yep.
1989, I believe, is an album.
That's an album, yeah.
Is it a good one?
That's my favorite.
So she had 1989, right? And then re-released 1989 once she got hold of all her songs again?
Yeah,
or something like that, right?
Pretty much all of the old ones.
Props to her.
Yeah.
So
but
good on you, Taylor, for getting your songs back.
Yeah. Well,
or trying to.
Kind of just taking back control.
Yeah.
Yeah. She owns, but that's it. It's like, hey, look, I owned Fearless long before there was any issues or anything like that. You know, I owned her debut album. I did not own 1989. I did buy the Taylor's version, the blue one, because it comes in multiple
Someone
colors.
told me she recently Christmas gifted her staff like $191 million or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that good? Because I don't know how many people work
they were saying
underneath her.
that for a lot of those people, it's life-changing money.
There you go. Props to you, Taylor. I know she's a good person. So like, it's cool.
She's very.
I'm trying to give
good.
her a shout out.
There was a documentary on her that I watched during COVID. It was on Netflix. I don't know where it is now, if it's still on Netflix. But it was very interesting because she had never taken a political standpoint on anything, and she wanted to say something.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah. But
Republicans buy shoes too.
She felt that she needed to say something about a particular person running for office in Tennessee, and she was in the room with her parents and one of her advisors, and her dad was adamant, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Somebody else is like, if you feel you have to do this, but you have to be aware that you could lose followers. And so she sends the tweet, and like within 10 minutes, her dad's like, you lost 20,000 followers.
Oh, well.
And
I think it's...
Yeah, it doesn't matter now. Like,
I could care
the
less
girl's a
about
freaking
her
billionaire.
affiliations, so I could care less about... anyone that's influenced with their political decisions by what a celebrity thinks, I think it's time to reevaluate how you view the world. So
absolutely, yeah.
I mean, people still buy J's, right? Republicans buy shoes, as MJ so famously said.
Yes.
I can't think of another transition into that. We talked about J's last time, didn't we? Shoes and versus awards. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to lead with the Kelsey thing. So there was some college football games over the weekend.
Some good ones and some not so good.
I think one good one.
One great, one boring but close.
Yeah.
One
and then the other two that
blowouts.
went exactly how one expected.
Yeah.
Did not expect James Madison to score 34 points.
James Madison outscored Oklahoma, Miami, A&M.
But if you were going to guess the team that was going to give up the most points, it would have been Oregon.
Right.
Not known for their defense.
Yeah.
I kind of had family shit this weekend, so I didn't get to see a lot of the Saturday games. I did watch the Oklahoma-Bama one on Friday evening, being the best game. And so I just want to give props to DeBoer and the staff and all the kids at Bama for taking a haymaker on the road and swinging right back.
Yeah. They were down 17-0 at one point in that game. And I think a lot of people were flipping the channel. It's over. Bama had 3 losses. Didn't belong in the playoff.
Half wrote the article.
Yeah.
About, they don't belong. Look at this team. Look at how they're.
They're getting blown out by Oklahoma for the 3rd straight time. And Kalen DeBoer says, hold up. Wait a minute.
Hold up.
Yeah. Postseason time is Alabama time. And now they're headed to the Rose Bowl. There was one thing that was a little disappointing to me, and it's not about the game, but I do follow a lot of Alabama people on social media, and turns out that they were not flying from Tuscaloosa to Norman. They took a bus, 10-hour bus drive.
The team?
This was the cheerleaders, but I would imagine the buses were for everybody.
I don't know.
If band and cheerleaders have to go to the game,
I'm sure
and
there
forced
were
on a bus,
fan charter student section charter. Ooh, excuse my stomach. I'm sure that happened. I don't know.
Yeah, but it just, I mean, if you're forced to go there, especially like during Christmas break, fly them. Come on, Alabama, we can do better.
Well, they're gonna have to fly him out to California because now they're in the Rose Bowl.
I sure as hell hope they're not taking a bus.
Indiana.
I sure as hell hope they're not taking a bus.
So yeah, good on you, Alabama. Now you got Indiana, Miami, Texas A&M. Defensive slugfest, I would say. The touchdown wasn't scored until like under 3 minutes to go, right?
Yeah.
So, who would have thought? I knew A&M had a good defense and a questionable offense, but
they struggled. That's a team that started 11-0 and lost their last 2 games. Sorry, A&M.
That's how it be sometimes.
You know, that's it. The big boys in the SEC are still around, and
so the committee is sweating, right? Because their first 2 games are the teams they let in instead of Notre Dame and BYU, and those 2 teams didn't disappoint.
Right,
ended up winning. So the committee's doing a big. Whew. At least we got that right, and
then the 11 and 12 games.
Those went how I expected.
And to me, it just proved that, you need to revamp the system again, because sure, you can say conference champions, but fact of the matter is both of them proved that they don't belong in the college football playoff.
I think if you put maybe a strength of schedule threshold, you have to be top 50.
That's what I say with Notre Dame too. If you're not or you can win 11 games, 10 games, 12 games, however many. But if you're not in the top 50 in conference, or in strength of schedule, you don't belong in the playoff. And Notre Dame has proved that over and over and over again.
I mean, they did make the title game last year, but
they actually had a decent
schedule
they were
last year. In the news today because they signed a deal to play BYU home and home.
Okay.
And you know who they're taking off the schedule?
Probably somebody crappy.
USC.
Oh, really? No way.
So they don't play USC, taking away the one good game that they have.
So they took
USC off to put BYU on.
They took a Big 10 team off in favor of a Big 12 team. That's, I guess the message didn't get across.
Clearly.
Like, what is going on at Notre Dame? Come on, guys. Maybe
I looked at that, led me to look at their schedule for next year, and it's not good. I mean, Miami's, again, their best game, and then they'll have at BYU, and then the next year they'll be home for BYU. They actually play the Longhorns, but not until 2028, a home and home. And then their 2029 schedule actually is pretty stacked because it's Alabama. They're playing Alabama.
Right, yeah.
And they're playing Texas. And Clemson, who I'm assuming might be back if Dabo stays. He's a good coach. He can recruit. Coach, maybe in 2029, Notre Dame can get in because it looks like they finally have a good schedule.
They're playing a bunch of teams that will beat them, though. I don't know if they're getting in with 4 losses.
I mean, who knows what we'll see in 3 years. The college football landscape can change drastically in a couple of years.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, I think these teams proved it on the field that James Madison and Tulane had absolutely no business being in this playoff. And
we mean no offense for the Tulane fans and the James Madison fans, and I think you guys know that too. It's like, sorry, we think Texas, we think Vanderbilt, and we think even Notre Dame would have put up better
BYU.
games.
Yeah. But I mean, I saw a video of the James Madison fans watching it. They did a show. They did like a come to our stadium, and we'll put it on the Jumbotron.
Oh, nice.
And I'm sure those kids were stoked. Like,
yeah.
Who cares that we got our doors blown off? We got a chance to play in a CFP game, and that's pretty cool for those kids. So don't hang your head. Don't hang your head, James Madison. Don't hang your head, Tulane. It was awesome.
You
got a once in a lifetime opportunity to play in a CFP game, which I think is pretty cool.
A lot of times, you look at just teams making the basketball tournament, making March Madness, and that's a banner itself. Hey, we made the tournament. We made the tournament. So, hey, you got the chance to play there. You're in that.
Way better chance for an upset.
Hopefully the rules change and it doesn't happen. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I was hoping for the 12/5. I'm like, come on, it's a 5-12 game. It's a 5-12 game. Let's go 12.
We always shoot for the 12. Oh yeah, it is. It was a 5-12 game. Yeah, that's funny.
But
doesn't it's not a cross sport.
Yeah, it doesn't translate to football so well.
But yeah, I mean, it would be hard to argue that your teams that got left out wouldn't arguably have done better. I mean, even in the other games where I'm looking at the first 4 teams that played. As a Longhorns fan, obviously I'm a little biased, but I was like, we already beat A&M. I know we could beat Miami. We beat Oklahoma.
Beat Oklahoma, yeah.
Oklahoma is stomping Alabama right now, as was early in the game. So I was like, obviously we would handle ourselves and be in the game against Alabama too. So, but again, that's me being biased.
They
lost to Florida, so don't lose Florida.
The 2 recent Texas and Alabama games. Obviously Texas won the one in Alabama.
They each won
and
on
then,
the road.
Yeah, but the Bama one in Austin came down to a field goal at the end. So granted that was 3 seasons ago, but still, even
it starts first season, right?
I think it was. Yeah.
So going forward, keep this going. We've got our Orange Bowl, Oregon versus Texas Tech. Oregon is -1.5. Oregon's actually favored.
I think the freshness has something to do with that.
I feel like you got to go across the country for this. So
it's still
I would put that as a pick 'em.
It's a long way though. I mean,
Oregon. I don't know. Obviously, what's his name will be there probably, but Phil Knight. But
yeah,
we'll see how the Oregon fans travel. It's far to go from Lubbock too to get all the way to Miami. That would have been my Rose Bowl, I think.
I know,
Excuse
right?
Me. Those should swap. My stomach is not having it today. Those should be swapped, and Oregon, Texas Tech should be the Rose Bowl, and Bama, Indiana should be the Orange Bowl. But they were already set, right, in their the matchups.
I think they put
certain positions.
Yes.
Yeah, so they weren't looking at the region that they're from.
So they got a Big Ten team
at their ranking
in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, you need a Big Ten. I get that.
You got to have either.
But
Big
Oregon
10
was a
or
Big Ten. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oregon's a Big Ten team, and Pac-12.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Your Rose Bowl is Bama, Indiana. Indiana's favored by 6.5, which I think is a little bit of a slap in the face.
I think that's crazy. And
I feel like they did face decent competition. They beat Oregon and then they beat Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game. So
right,
it's not like they're not battle tested, but I just feel like I feel like it is a step up in not competition, but your nerves and your sports well-being. It's one thing, Big Ten championship game. CFP, not on the road, but you're far away from home. Who knows how I think the Indiana fans will travel because this is their first time.
I mean, it's Southern California too. I mean, there's people from every area in the region in SoCal or every area of the country.
Yeah, and so what is the spectacle that is the Rose Bowl?
There,
go to the parade and then go to the game.
Right.
They are 6.5, and then you got your Sugar Bowl. Ole Miss versus Georgia, so a whole SEC matchup.
I like that. Yeah.
Georgia is -6.5. Sounds about right.
That's fair. Yeah.
Well, you think that would be lower if Lane Kiffin was still there? They could be like 3.5.
I do. Yes. Although it didn't make much of a difference.
No, they were up 21-3 pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then I think kind of hit cruise control.
Yeah.
And then your Cotton Bowl, one of my favorites because it's in my home state. Miami versus Ohio State, and Ohio State is -9.5. Fucking crazy.
Again, it's weird because these teams with the buys are gonna have 25 or more days off.
We're still 10 days away.
Yeah,
9-10 days away from this from these New Year's Day games.
So I want to say there's something to be said about having played a good team in between there. It's not like they just had tune-ups against FCS teams. They were playing, other playoff teams, especially Bama. So
Bama and Miami, who feel lucky to get in and have to prove it still.
Right.
So I think Ohio State's going to win, but I will take Miami.
Yeah, with those points all day. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't think Ohio State's. Well, they blew the doors off their crappy Big Ten competition, but they only scored 13 points against Indiana. So or 10 points. They lost 10-13. They only scored 10 points against Indiana. So if I'm going to just pick my winners, I have Oregon, Bama, Georgia, Indiana. Ohio State. Sorry, Bama's beating. The only upset is Alabama over Indiana.
Yeah, that's a big one
because I'm not sold on them.
I have Bama winning. I might be a little biased.
I'm not. Okay, well, thanks. I'm a little SEC biased.
yeah. It's hard. You're new to the SEC, but we appreciate you jumping on board with the SEC thing. Well, how do the next games, the semifinals?
I didn't write that down, but I think it's Oregon, Georgia, and Bama, Indiana.
Okay.
Using my winners. Rose versus cotton, orange versus sugar. Because I know it lines up so that we could have an all SEC Bama, Georgia championship, which I think is what's going to happen anyway. So, but I'm giving Ty Simpson a lot of credit, and I have all year, and he looked rattled to start that game, but came back and made some decent throws. But he had the deer headlights. They showed him, and it's like,
yeah.
And I was like, dude, you're blowing my theory here that you're going to be the best QB coming into this draft. So, if I'm him, I think I would come out now.
I still stay one more year, but again,
if he wins 2 more games, I would definitely come out. He wins the championship.
That's fair. If you win the championship, you can stay, or you can go. But I think I think who's the guy? Austin Mack is
the backup.
He's Simpson's backup.
The understudy.
And I think if Simpson comes back another year,
he'll transfer.
We might end up losing Austin Mack, and that's not what I want, because he had a little chance to play this year and still very impressive. Very impressive. I like him.
Yeah, it's always funny that they just seem to reload like someone in the wings, and I as a non-Alabama fan never heard of him. And I'm just watching it like go from Tua, right, from Jalen to Tua to Mac, to Milrow.
Bryce
Young in there, yeah. And I'm like, okay, never heard of Mac Jones, never heard of Bryce Young, never heard of Jalen Milrow, never heard of Ty Simpson. Yeah. And they just keep.
And when you
I've
look
never heard of this kid, but I'm sure he'll be a quality
Alabama,
starter too.
like, it was never a quarterback school.
It never was.
And then all of a sudden Saban gets there, and
even the first half of Saban's, first 3/4 of Saban's career, where you're throwing out your McElroys and your
AJ McCarron had a
but they were never looked at like Tua, Mac,
right?
Jalen. They were never looked at like that way.
Not
AJ McCarron. What was he? Backup at best. Backing up Joe, came in for Joe Burrow.
Yes,
or a Andy Dalton.
That's it.
A few times.
And now he's and I think Dak Prescott too. And now he's the head coach of the Birmingham Stallions of the United Football League, coming soon to Fox Network near you. But yeah, all those guys, Jalen, Tua, they just keep on coming. Jalen Hurts is struggling in the championship game. Let's bring in the freshman kid from Hawaii that nobody knows how to say his name, but everybody remembered after that.
Yeah.
And it just keeps on going, keep on reloading. But Alabama's become a brand name too that you want to be a part of if you're a high school quarterback.
Well, they were talking to Ewers before the Dolphins game because he got his first start, which was cool. They got their doors blown off, but he said he went from Ohio State to Texas because of Sark's offense.
Oh, okay.
And system and being set for a pro style offense. And Saban ran a pro style offense, didn't he? Well, because he had he had Sarkisian.
Yeah.
So Sarkisian wasn't he Mac Jones's OC?
Was he Mac or was he Bryce?
Probably both.
He might. Yeah, I don't remember.
Bill O'Brien was there for a little bit too, wasn't he?
Yeah, they went through so many. There was a while where it was OCs and one new OC every year. Kiffin was there for a year.
Yeah, because they did so well.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to steal that guy.
And I think after like 5 years, Saban was like, that's it. I'm not bringing in anybody that
has a name,
not going to commit to me for a couple of years. Daboll was there for a year.
Currently jobless, Brian Daboll. He won't be, though.
Not for long, yeah.
No, the second he can get hired somewhere. We'll touch on coaching hot seats in a minute when we get into the NFL. But I'm ready to jump to NFL. That's all I got. College, because we got 10 days to look at these matchups and see what we think and over speculate and under speculate and
who knows what's going to happen.
All these teams will be able to get to their respective cities on time, get adjusted to the time zones there, and all of that. I'm not sure where the semifinal games are. I can't remember.
Is there a
2 more bowls?
Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl?
I think a Peach Fiesta.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's got to be,
Fiesta Bowl,
right?
Yeah.
Peach and Fiesta.
Yeah.
And then your championship, I believe, is in Miami, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember. They just, it's all thrown off every now and or every year now.
Well, hopefully, if Bama wins, it's the Fiesta Bowl and not the Peach Bowl.
If it's the Fiesta Bowl, I am going.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. We're driving to Arizona. We're going to that game.
Yeah, 5 hours. 5 hours to the Rose Bowl, too. Unless there's a semi-truck that
This
tipped
is
over.
semi-truck.
That was a nightmare.
7-hour drive. It took us 4 hours just to get to the state line. Yeah, that was wild. Fun stories. We'll get to fun stories during the off season.
Yeah, right. I kind of went into division by division here because we're getting close to the end here. And now we've got playoff scenarios here. So first I'm starting with the NFC North because the Bears had a ridiculous ending to that game.
I was watching that game with the Bears fan, and I said to myself, at some point, the Bears are gonna Bears. And
It was
then,
the whole game. Or do you mean Bears bearing, like, blow it like they used
Yes,
to, or
yeah,
the
yeah.
Bears this year that seem to pull it out of their ass?
the Bears like double doinking something.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there was, I forget what it was. It was a penalty or a turnover or something where the ref came out, and then I think it was like a turnover where they called it, but then they said no, he was down. And I'm like, there it is, right on cue, Bears bearing, but the Bears did not bear, and they're
2025 bared.
yeah, and that's it. And that's what he said to me was, I think the Bears being the Bears has a different definition now.
Now,
Yeah, it means something different. So the Bears are they're in first place,
number 2 seed.
and yeah. And then he said to me, "So, what do you think about a 1985 Super Bowl rematch?"
It's on the table.
I'm like, dude. First of all, we got to get by Bo Nix, because
This was before the Jacksonville game.
this was before your coach of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I watched the onside kick again. I had family shit, so I was just watching the score on my phone, and then our resident Bears guy texted me, like, all caps, after that really nice throw from Caleb Williams in overtime,
Kid's good.
to win it. So
The kid looks good, and I secretly kind of I always root for my friends' teams
Yeah, me too.
to win.
like, I wasn't a Cowboys fan at all. I fucking hated them, but now I have a friend that's a Cowboys fan, and I can't help it.
Yes, that's how I am with the Broncos. Could not stand them. I mean, even Homer Simpson made fun of the Broncos. But no, I would love to see the Bears come out of the NFC.
Me too.
And I think what they showed us on Saturday night shows us that they do have the ability to win these close games. They can beat good teams. Yeah, it was a home game, but it was a team that has owned them for a long time.
Didn't Love get knocked out, though?
Love got knocked out, yeah. That's
So
fine.
Malik Willis, or whatever his name is, came in.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's that. Yeah, and so I was thinking that the Pack were done skis, right? But then the Lions go and take a shit against the Steelers.
Well, they didn't really take a shit. They took an offensive pass interference at the end. Now, what do you think? Was that an OPI? Did you see
I
it?
didn't see it.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying this is a family busy time.
You got to edit in
Because
the
I got
video.
so
right
many
here.
different family things that I got to deal with.
Let's do 2 different takes, and we'll put the video, and then honestly, I think it was.
I mean, editing Pete can jump in here and make another little video. I've seen
Yeah.
people do that on YouTube.
Yeah. I think it was an offensive pass interference. What
Was it
happens
like the Super Bowl 40 with the Seahawks offensive PI and it clearly just fucked the game for them?
No, not that bad. So basically, here's what it is. Amon-Ra comes down. He's at the goal line. Jalen Ramsey's there. He pushes off Ramsey.
Did he
turns,
extend the arm?
Yeah.
PI.
Ramsey throws his hands up like
course
he's
he
LeBron
does.
James flopping, but then he has the balls to get back into play. He gets back into it. The balls come into St. Brown. St. Brown catches it, but I don't think he crosses the plane. That was never actually even reviewed or anything. But all the Steelers come and they're pushing St. Brown back. He laterals the ball to Goff, who runs it into the end zone. Now, this is as time's expiring.
That's a genius awareness play.
It was amazing. So we're like, what? Is that a touchdown? There's a flag. Hold on. That's definitely a touchdown, but is the play dead? Did they blow the whistle? Nobody knows what the hell is going on. It was a crazy play. And then the refs all get together and they spend like 35 minutes figuring it out. No, it was a while, but and they came out and said the ruling on the field is a touchdown and a offensive pass interference. So by rule, the touchdown doesn't count and the game is over. And the Lions lose. It was as crazy an ending as Thursday night with the
we could transition into that.
Yeah, the backwards lateral off a helmet and one player picking up the ball for a 2-point conversion to tie the game.
I mean, by the letter of the law, like you can't argue it as a Rams fan can't argue it.
No, you
because
can't.
It was the definition of backwards. I looked at it. I mean, they were showing it right down the sideline.
It was
and I'm like, yeah. I mean, lateral off the helmet and then clear recovery by Charbonnet in the end zone.
And I think
it sucks, Rams fans, because their only argument was the whistle blew. But,
and I don't think it did, because I'm like, what the hell happened? And I'm kudos to Al Michaels, who was not on his game, not Al Michaels' best game.
His game all year.
But he said, I think that's a backwards pass. And Herbie jumped right in, and I forget who their official analyst is, but
Jerry McCauley.
And they come on, and they're like, yeah, that's a backwards pass. And then they show, I forget who it was that picked it up, and they're like, that's going to be a good 2-point conversion. And sure enough, they got the right call. It's crazy, and we'll probably never see anything like that again. I sure as hell hope we don't see anything like that again.
Well, that's, and Dan Campbell said in his press conference, and all these coaches go back to the same thing. When you have a controversial play in a game that does swing momentum, it's not they always are like, oh, that's not, it was a bad play, but that's not the reason why we lost. We never should have been in that situation. And it's true.
Right.
Seattle, where it's down a lot, right? And if you're the Rams, you can't give up that punt return.
Right.
That punt return touchdown had nothing to do with the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
And then getting 3 and out, 3 times in a row there in the end of the third, the beginning of the fourth quarter. And I was looking at Rams fans' posts, and they're like, every single time McVay does this when we're up a lot, like he takes his foot off the gas. He takes his foot off the gas and bad play calling. So, the 2-point conversion is not why the Rams lost. The pass interference on Amon St. Brown is not why the Lions lost. So, so now you're looking at the NFC North, right, where the Bears have a good lead now, right? So probably going to sleepwalk into that. They do play the
both the Bears and the Packers have tough schedules left.
They play, I can't remember.
I don't remember. Somebody plays Baltimore. I think Green Bay plays Baltimore.
They probably do.
They play each other to end the season.
And they play each other. No, they play the Lions. They both play the Lions.
Oh, do they?
Going forward. I think the Bears play the Lions in the last game of the season.
Oh, all right.
The NFC West is even crazier because the Niners can win out and still win the NFC West and the number 1 seed. So they play tonight against the Colts.
Yes.
And then they play, I thought I wrote down the 49ers schedule. Maybe I didn't.
Do they have the Cardinals in there?
Maybe. And then their last game's the Seahawks. So whoever wins that game is going to be the number 1 seed unless San Francisco loses another game.
Yeah.
And then the Rams will be. And the Rams have a cakewalk. They play like Atlanta and Arizona.
Oh, that's
to end the season. Yeah. No one wants to win the NFC South. I was so excited when it was 20-20. I thought it was going to go to overtime.
I'm looking.
Oh, come on, overtime, because I called it.
I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I don't want to text Pete. I don't want to text Pete because I'm going to jinx it. As soon as I send the text, they're going to score some way or another. And then you texted me after the field goal. I'm like, oh, shouldn't even have thought about it. But it was very close. 2020, right up to.
But I was technically right. Under 2 minutes, and Baker Mayfield had to make a drive.
Yeah,
and he didn't make the drive. He threw an interception. And you can look at the play and point to Mike Evans. Who knows if that was the route he was supposed to run or if he's calling an audible there, because Baker clearly threw it like he thought Evans was going to go out.
Exactly.
And Evans does a fake and goes inside. And so just not communication on that. And
You have to fix those issues long before
I mean,
week
yeah,
15,
and Edens has
guys.
been hurt all year. So
That's true.
he's had no one to throw to. So I have a fix for Tampa,
Ibuke,
by the way. Big Boo.
Godwin's been out most of the year.
Big Boo. They had Bo Nix's brother-in-law is one of the receivers for Tampa.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Who's his brother-in-law?
Tez Johnson.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then NFC East is boring. Philly won.
Philly won the first time that we've had a NFC East division
Repeat
winner
since 04.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. It's crazy to think that 20 years it's been
Since I graduated high school.
It's basically been Dallas, Philly, Dallas, Philly.
Washington's
here's
in
a
there.
Commanders, Dallas, Philly, Dallas, Philly. Here's a Giants, Dallas, Philly.
Well, Giants have
Here's a
won it
Commanders.
twice. One of them was 11.
Yeah, there's 2 Giants and I think 3 Commanders in there. Which is weird because last year the Commanders went to the
NFC Championship.
but no, that was still Philly's division.
Philly won the division. Yeah.
And they won the Super Bowl.
That's good. I like a little disparity instead of, a 10-year fucking streak.
Yeah, I don't care about it in
stupid
any
red
other
team
division
wins.
except my own. I only want my team to win my division.
So jump into still a lot to be determined in the NFC, which is really cool. Like, it's nice that games still matter.
Yeah.
With 2 weeks to go. I think Goodell's probably very happy about that.
I think for
and the fact
fantasy
that 3
players,
different
it's good,
freaking teams can win the NFC West is. But I would say
You could have
Eagles won, right? Bears are looking like a 99% chance. And then your NFC South, who the fuck knows?
we could have 3
Because Tampa
13
and
win
Carolina
teams.
play each other again. 3
Yeah.
12-team wins?
Or 3 13 teams in the West, right?
Potentially.
That in itself is crazy.
Yeah. That's cool, man. I like it. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like because Tampa and Carolina play again. And so, who knows? And Tampa has an easy game, I think, next week. They play Miami. So, Tampa plays Miami and then Carolina. And Carolina plays Seattle. So, I feel like the odds are still in Tampa's favor if they can get their
Yeah,
offensive
absolutely.
game going. Maybe save Todd Bowles' job. The AFC is a little bit more. Well, so
It's complicated too.
5 teams have clinched playoff spots in the NFC, but we don't know where they're going to be seated.
Right.
Only 2 teams have clinched in the AFC
Right.
because the wild card is a little bit more kind of out there. So the Broncos and the Pats are locked in. They both have 12 wins. Them and the Seahawks are the only teams right now that have 12 wins. So you
That's
have a
fun.
2-game lead on the Bills. The Pats have a 2-game lead on the Bills or a 1-game lead on the
One
Bills.
game
But
Yeah,
and you don't have a tiebreaker because you
we
tied.
split, right?
But if you finish with the same record, do you know who gets it? Because I don't.
know where it stands right now. No.
But if the Broncos and the Patriots end with the same record and they're both the best record, the Broncos have the tiebreaker because of a better conference record, I
Right
think.
now, yes.
Yeah, our 3 losses are AFC South twice and the Chargers. AFC South, man, they got us. And so the Pats' 2 remaining games are divisional games at I don't know if they're at or home. Jets and Dolphins.
We go to New York. Dolphins are at home.
Okay, and the Bills are the Jets and the word I can't read.
Yeah, they finished.
It's a tough
with the
game.
Jets.
The Bears? No, it's not the Bears, is it? Eagles. Bills play the Eagles.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
Eagles with nothing to play for, though. Except improving their seeding.
Yeah, they like seeding is huge.
Because they'll definitely finish ahead of the South winner. But they got to look at the North winner. And
Yeah, if
they got to get more wins than the Bears.
You got to
And
push
then
the
they're
Bears
second.
down to 3.
If they want the 2 seed. So advantage Patriots there, I would say. And you made a joke about their strength of schedule.
Yeah, they actually put it on the broadcast yesterday. The Patriots. Everybody wants to knock their strength of schedule.
You can only
but
play who's in front of you.
they, I guess, the last team they have the worst strength of schedule since the 1999 Rams. Now, say what you will about that, but the 1999 Rams are Super Bowl champions.
And glorified. It was the
And
greatest show on
Yeah,
earth.
the
and
greatest show on turf.
thought of as a brilliant team in NFL history. And it turns out they had the easiest schedule ever.
Yeah, they only played one team over 500. There was another one I looked at too. Somebody else brought this up. The 1972 Dolphins that did not lose a game all year only played 2 teams over 500 that year. So I'm not really interested in hearing about strength of schedule anymore. Now that I've learned those stats, strength of schedule doesn't matter because those are two teams that everybody always looks at. Greatest show on turf. Undefeated Dolphins.
Yeah.
Super Bowl champions, and the Pats could be headed right down that same path.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be favored in both those games. I think the Bills will be favored against the Eagles, though. We'll have to look at that when it comes out.
It depends on where it is.
I'm not sure. I didn't do that. I do research, but not that much. Sorry. Let's see.
This is why we need a Google entity.
You beating the Ravens pretty much hands Pittsburgh the AFC North.
Right.
I think they have a 2-game lead with 2 to go. They do play each other at the end of the year, but I wrote down Pittsburgh's schedule.
Lamar Jackson.
All they have to do is beat the Browns next week. That's all Pittsburgh has to do.
Yeah, Lamar's out, so the Ravens aren't sexy anymore. No offense, but Lamar is their sexiest piece, and Derrick Henry
and
after that.
I wrote this down, and I texted you after the game was over, and I'm curious if anybody else noticed this. So at the end of the game, the play that won the game, if you're watching it, I forget, number 44, punches the ball out of Zay Flowers. Baltimore's on their last drive of the game, under 2 minutes. They still have 3 timeouts, down 4, so you're driving for a touchdown. The guy punches the ball out of Zay Flowers, fumbles, Patriots recover, basically burning the clock.
Game over,
Yeah. He's fucking smiling and laughing, not 5 minutes later, talking to somebody on the Patriots.
He was talking
after the game.
He was talking to Christian Gonzalez, who is, Patriots defender that was up against him the entire night. Now, this was interesting to me because that was a key matchup. I love Zay Flowers. He's a Boston College guy.
Yes.
So I've always liked him. I hate that he's on a team I don't like, but I think Zay Flowers had a great game. But I also think Christian Gonzalez had a great game going up against him, defending him. Zay had some good catches. He had a great run for a touchdown. But at no point was he ever like, this is the guy that's going to beat us. But he wasn't neutralized either. He had a good game, but Gonzalez did what he needed to do to keep him from being the guy to beat us. And I think, the weird thing about seeing them smiling and chatting with each other, it just kind of proves to us that at the end of the day,
it's a job to these guys.
It's a job and it's a game, I
don't know. It just, I'm very angry during the Broncos games and for about 15 minutes after they lose.
Yeah.
And then I can take a breath and refresh and
I think you
just
texted me this morning.
It doesn't mean
still
anything.
fuming.
I'm very mad, but it's just a game, right? And it is. But if you're watching that as a Baltimore fan, and that basically fucked your season, and he fumbles it, and there he is smiling and laughing, talking to a defender of the other team. I think that irks me, and maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe we caught it at a bad moment because when I'm pissed off and somebody says something funny too, I can crack a smile and laugh, and then go right back to being pissed off. So maybe with camera got him on in a bad moment, but if as a fan seeing that, I am just like, fuck you, dude. You don't give a shit about our team and our city and everything, and you just fumbled the season away. I'm exaggerating here. And I'd be fucking pissed. And I didn't look on any Baltimore social medias. I didn't look up any of that. I didn't look into the situation anymore. I'm just thinking my situation as I'm sitting there watching that. That's what I thought.
To me, I compare it to when the Patriots lost Super Bowl 46 to the Giants, and there were a whole bunch of photos and social media videos that came out after the game that showed all the Pats partying. They're at their Super Bowl after party, and Gronk and Edelman and all the guys are up on stage drinking, dancing, and I'm like, do you understand what this loss means? We just lost our 4th Super Bowl. We were supposed to get revenge. Some of us lost a shit ton of money, and you guys are all partying.
Yeah.
That's not cool. And then there's an old video, actually in the movie Fever Pitch, they actually do this, after the Red Sox were down 3-0 to the Yankees, and there were a bunch of Red Sox at a restaurant eating, and the guys from the main characters from the movie are they're like, the fuck are they out there just eating like regular people for? Do they know that we're down 3-0 to the Yankees? And these guys are like, oh, I'm gonna have my Jason Varitek chicken parm.
Yeah.
The fuck you are. We got a game to focus on.
Well, and I think it was Colin Cowherd that said it. It's like, they're not from there, 99% of them, right? The team didn't mean shit to them before they got drafted
Right.
by that team. But it's like, was he in his 5th, 6th year now? Maybe 3rd, 4th year, Zay Flowers?
I would say 3rd or 4th, yeah.
And so it's just like, I don't know. It's just a bad look. And I just wanted to mention it and see what you all think. Because if I saw like, Cortland Sutton doing that, I'd be super fucking pissed at him.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think to me, like, almost more of just a respect thing. Because these guys know, like Gonzalez, he's one of the top coverage defenders in the league. And Flowers, obviously one of the top receivers in the league. And I think it was just like a mutual respect for each other. They both had good games.
I get it. And like I said, the camera probably caught him at a moment. He just maybe made a joke. Or
maybe he was like, dude, I thought
like
you were going to get me for that touchdown. Or
yeah,
like,
and
Christian goes up to him, thanks for that fumble, man. It wasn't even me that knocked that out.
Camera caught him at a bad moment maybe, but that's what it looked like. So anyway, the Broncos have a 2-game lead on the Chargers. All they have to do is, I don't even know. So they need to win out if San Diego wins out. But they play San Diego at the end of the year. So if they beat Kansas City at Christmas and then the Chargers beat Houston, so it's lucky that it's a tough game.
So
Chargers and Texans.
The short week sucks.
I mean,
also Netflix sucks too.
Well, it's on Prime.
Oh, you're on Prime? Okay.
They're wearing the white out, so all white with the white helmets, going against the 3rd string QB because Mishnu tore his ACL as well against the Titans.
That's wild. Yeah.
So everything is stacked in the Broncos' favor to just blow the Chiefs' doors off. I'm sure Amazon is upset because injuries have ruined their great matchup, and they're probably not going to get neutral fans now.
Do you think maybe the Chiefs could call like Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan did an interview where he was asked if the Colts called him.
Oh, really?
And he said no, but who knows if he was telling the truth.
Okay. Yeah, because that'd be another one. He was more recent than Crimea Rivers.
But they have some guy. They're packing it in. They probably want a better draft pick anyway.
And that's the thing. At some point or another, when you've had draft picks in the 28, 29, 30, 31, 32.
All of them go through it. The Patriots had a horrible roster because of it.
Right.
The Spurs went through their rebuild where they had
exactly
20 years of picking number 28 or later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys get a couple.
And then all of a sudden
ones.
you get a couple top 5 picks and bam, you're right back in it at 20-7.
Right.
With Wembanyama and Steph Castle and all them. So
I was going to say 13-2 with Drake May and Will Campbell, but yeah, exactly. Same principle. And somewhere Belichick and Popovich are watching on TV and thinking, I used to coach those teams.
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, in the AFC, there's still a lot to be decided. Even the AFC South, because the Jaguars still have the Colts and the Titans, and Houston has to play the Chargers. So I think that game is probably the biggest game of the week.
Yeah.
Chargers, Texans. It's probably your game. It's going to decide a lot.
That
game is literally probably going to decide the AFC West and the AFC South.
Yeah, it could.
Because one of them keeps pressure. So the winner keeps pressure on the division leader, and then the loser basically succumbs to second place in their division.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Yeah. Thanks to the Jags win.
Yeah, well, we still wouldn't have clinched even if they won. They had a game to work with. And I mean, it's not easy to point to one thing being the reason why you lost, but tackling is the reason why they lost to the Jaguars. So they'll work on tackling. I know it's a short week, but don't take Kansas City lightly.
It's hitting these dudes. Like, don't hit guys, wrap them up, and tackle them.
Well, we all pointed to our starting strong safety. He tore his pec last week, and he's been out. Probably won't be back to the playoffs, if even that. So we have a backup safety in there, but like he wasn't the one that was missing the tackles. So it was all of them missing the tackle. So, and they did a great job against the run, but I digress.
And then
I'm not here to bitch about. There's a couple questionable calls, but I never will bitch about the referees. I just went ahead speaking about how one play does not. And you talk about PI on St. Brown. Well, the Jaguars tight end definitely pushed off for their second touchdown too, but they're never going to call that shit until they do call that shit. So maybe Riley Moss needs to flop a little bit more.
Yeah, sell it. Go out there and sell it. I want to ask you like just a real quick question on this. There was a play in one of the games yesterday where there were two penalties that offset, but one of them was a personal foul and one of them was just a regular penalty.
So the regular penalty is what killed the play. But PJ Locke, the one that hit Trevor Lawrence, the one that's in for Brandon Jones because Brandon Jones is out, I don't know if he didn't hear the whistle. I was watching at my mom and dad's house. I did not have the volume up very loud, so I didn't hear when the whistle killed that play. But he was blitzing, saw Trevor Lawrence there, and fucking hit him. And so that's what they called, right? The personal foul, unnecessary roughness, after they blew the whistle dead. So the false start killed that play. It's over. Play's over. Personal foul. So that's why they went back 5, forward 15, and gave Jacksonville a first down.
And sometimes they offset.
But they were, because one was during the play and one was post play.
Yeah.
Because Hockley was like, after the play was over, and I'm like explaining it to my dad too while we're there. And I'm like, they blew the play dead, and then he hit Lawrence. And
just, it drives me nuts that, you'll have sometimes where you'll have the penalties offset, and then other times they don't.
Well, it was a third down and it was loud.
Yeah.
They're at home.
Exactly.
Making noise so Lawrence's team can't hear, and then all of a sudden they're blowing the play dead because of a penalty, and he didn't hear it, and he hits Lawrence, and Lawrence fumbled, and our guy's Zach Allen's picking it up and going the other way with it. But yeah, that is what it is. That wasn't the back-breaking play. There was a back-breaking play where I knew we might be in trouble. Was when Trevor Lawrence finally figured out, hey, I'm mobile, because he got sacked like 3 times before it, and so our defensive ends are just dive bombing inside, and then all of a sudden, it was like from the mid-second quarter on, he's like, oh, I can bootleg left and get out of here. And he made a really great cross-body throw, one that the Oklahoma quarterback should study, because he's a little jump throw, like whatever John Mateer was doing there was a little jump throw back the other way that was the changing point of that game, right. I think. So anyway, it was really cool that nothing's really been locked up. No one's really have positioning down yet, and we have important games going through at least week 17. So depending on the results of those games, week 18 will either have a lot of excitement or no fucking excitement at all. So
yeah,
I wanted to get to coaches on the hot seat, but we're running short of time here.
Gannon, Carroll.
Yeah, I have 3 down as definite gone. And those are 2 of my 3.
Yeah.
I have Raheem Morris from Atlanta, definitely gone.
The only other one I think is Aaron Glenn.
I think he'll be fine. This is his first year.
That's the only thing that's saving him is it's 1 year.
But Carroll's first year, and he's.
But
they fought decently hard against Houston. The Raiders did.
Oh yeah,
so.
They were right there. They actually were close to winning that game. But I think with Glenn in New York, the fact is they're a dumpster fire too, and
no one's been able to fix that.
Right. And so I don't think it's going to be Aaron Glenn. And I would fire his ass and
move on
and let him go. If I'm Dan Campbell, I call him up and say, "Hey, come back. Please come on back."
We'll see. I don't think he'll be fine. I have Jonathan Gannon gone, Raheem Morris gone, Pete Carroll gone. I have maybes 2 AFC North coaches, Stefanski and Zach Taylor, and Todd Bowles, depending upon how Tampa finishes the season. And so if Todd Bowles is gone and Stefanski's gone, if I'm Tampa, I'm doing whatever I possibly can to get Kevin Stefanski to come be the coach and coach Baker Mayfield.
Baker? Yeah.
Yep. That would be the most no-brainer thing for Tampa Brass to do.
Yeah, I can see Stefanski. I could see Bulls if they blow it and don't win the South. I would fire Bulls too.
And you bring in Stefanski because I think Cleveland's gonna. I think when it comes down to it, Cleveland will. I don't know. Maybe it's a media thing. They've created this tension between Stefanski and Shador, and I think Cleveland will side with Shador. It's easier to keep the player, get rid of the coach, because the coach doesn't help a cap hit.
That's true.
And so Stefanski needs to make his way to. And then the other coach I have with a question mark that I thought maybe his time has run out is John Harbaugh. I'm curious what you think about that.
That's it's an interesting thought. I think that Harbaugh is one of those guys that has earned the right to walk away on his own. But fact of the matter is, year after year, the Ravens are not winning the Super Bowl, and they've put up good teams. They've had great
Good Super Bowl
quarterbacks.
roster. The big criticism on
MVP
him,
quarterback.
yeah.
So why aren't they able to get there? Mahomes was that good that he kept Allen and Jackson away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah, in the 1 year you've got an injured Mahomes.
Yeah,
They're not going to make it either.
right.
Looking at you, Josh Allen. This is your time.
Nope, it's
You're
over.
going to make a run.
That window's closed.
But I would say that Denver and New England have better rosters than Buffalo.
Top to bottom. And, both of those teams are going to
I would say the Chargers have a better roster than the Bills.
They might at this point. They're going to have to, both those teams are going to have to go to either, Denver or New England.
I feel like Buffalo would take on the challenge of going to New England.
They just won there after falling down.
Going to the altitude in Denver is a little bit different story. So
I don't think that's an issue for Josh Allen.
True.
Not the guy who played at 7,200 feet in college.
Yeah. So we'll see. Let us know who you think's going to win the respective divisions. Obviously, we'll get into more NFL coaching things as the season comes to an end. As far as VGK goes, fuck Canada.
God damn, what a terrible, terrible weekend.
And like I said, we can talk more about that. We're running out of time here, so let us know what you think. And thanks for coming. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody out
Season's
there.
Greetings.
And thanks.
Yeah. Enjoy the holidays. See you next week.
Peace. Go Knights, go.
Go Knights, go.